next question. Angle of Time says, Hey, Stevie, been a fan of wrestling since I was a child in 2001 and hated the right to censor with yourself and Ivory the most. Now, as an adult, I can't stop praising the work and effort you put into making that stable believable and playing a heel character so well. I think around that time Chris Jericho was a popular face in the IC title picture. Why didn't WWE capitalise and give you at least an intercontinental title run? You more than deserved it. And there is a follow-up question here that's very thematically similar. From Ismail's Ali, I think. Bit of a crappy question, but why didn't you get an extended run in the upper mid-card in WWE or WCW? Had the look, you were better worker than at least 80% of the roster, had a fantastic promo. Why didn't we get IC or US champ Stevie Richards?
Well, thank you very much for the compliment, both of you, for saying that I deserved a little bit more of an opportunity than I was given. That's really all I wanted ever in wrestling, was an opportunity, because when you make the most out of the opportunity, you succeed, then money will follow. Merchandise will follow, opportunity, more opportunities, and they're tests, but they're opportunities in that test. Why I was never IC champion, I was told this by Pat Patterson once, and a couple other people had echoed it. And you're going to laugh in 2025. Do you want to hear why I never won the IC belt?
You're too small.
I was too small.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
I was too small. I'm too small to be IC champ. And this was still on the tail end of Rocky, Shamrock, Austin, Owen Hart. Like, I'm after them, but there was still that stigma of the size. And the IC title also represented, like, it was still in that era, I believe, that when you won the IC title, that was a test and an opportunity to see if you can go further up and maybe possibly carry the world title one day. That's the schematic for that. You know, you had your European championship, other championships that were underneath that. But if you carry certain championships and you have a good run and people want to see you, they love you, they hate you, they buy your merchandise, they come out to see your butt kick, get your butt kicked, whatever it might be, they see that as, oh, we can push him even further. And I saw it that way. And if I had an IC title run or a US title run, as a businessman, it's great because I'm running right back to the photo set, take the picture with the belt, print out a bunch, and then when they do release me, I go to the conventions with the belt picture. So, and then get a replica too, so you can take a picture with the belt. That is carny, but that's the way you hustle on the indies. Um, Politically, I wasn't aligned. I wasn't a political favorite. I didn't come into the company as somebody. Well, Vince Russo hired me, and so did Terry Taylor. Russo was gone not long after I got there, so I probably had two strikes against me in that vein too. But I couldn't tell you. And as time goes on, and we talk about this with AEW, I became an old toy. New toys came in, new shiny toys that they could play with. And also at the same time, I believe my biggest hindrance was the reason I stayed employed for so long with so many companies. I could bump, sell, put people over, and I wasn't selfish. And the last one is the thing that Vince McMahon had a real problem with and told me right to my face, you're not enough of an asshole. That's my biggest problem with you. So I think you put all that together, and that's why I didn't have ruthless aggression in order to, I mean, but I can have make pretend ruthless aggression in the ring and cut a fake promo saying I hate this person, even though I really don't hate him that much, and make people believe it. So thank you very much. And, you know, the fact that I could cut a promo, the fact that I could work, and the fact that I had some kind of, I guess, aura, energy, poise, and presence to present myself, that I'm not just another enhancement guy, is why I think people still ask that question today. There was just something about my character. They're like, this doesn't make any sense that he just moves laterally the whole time. But that's what it is.
Would you have seen the European title if you were offered that? Would you have seen that as a good thing, or by 2001, 2002, was it just... Eh?
Yeah, because I would have said, I would have took what D'Lo did, that every single week he was from a different place in Europe, and I would have tried to do something like that. Or I would have came out and one week I would have been dressed like, somebody from, the British Royal Guard. Then I would have been dressed as French person, or I would have put some entertainment on it. Um, whatever title you got, even when I had the hardcore title, the fact that it was just a mishmash of everybody going over, here, there, everywhere, going all over the place, I still created finishes and did things that at least made it stand out to some extent. Even the finish that stands out in my mind that I'm proud of is I didn't want to wrestle Bradshaw in heat. I just wanted to hand the belt over. And he was like, I'll see you out there. So automatically people were like, oh my God. He did something with Crash, I think the week before. So we're wrestling. He's just squashing me, running through me. Crash comes down to interfere. Crash ends up getting hit by Bradshaw with the clothesline, rolls out of the ring. I pin Crash 1, 2, 3 and run off, and Bradshaw is chasing me. So cool little finish where nobody got hurt or the character got hurt. But that's what I would have brought to the European title. And even if I had the opportunity for the second tier title, the IC or US title, I would have done something, a spin on the open challenge, a spin on what D'Lo did, or a spin on anything I can do to identify that belt with my character.
Aside from any world titles, were there any belts that you really coveted or would love to have said that you won in your career?
I think
taking out money.
No, the Intercontinental title, 100%, because the Intercontinental title to me growing up was the title that had the best matches, the workhorses, the people I identified with to go out there and work hard, the Bret Harts, the Randy Savages. Not that I'm on their level, but I believe what I would bring to that would be that kind of character and intensity. And as a heel, it would be a great way to put baby faces over while still getting myself over even more as champion. Plus the fact the old IC title that Savage had, that that Savage had, that Bret Hart had, that's the best, and the Ultimate Warrior too. That is the best looking belt ever. I love the style of the IC belt. Hate the new ones. Hate the new ones.
Oh, what does the new one look like now?
It's like a thing, and it has a center point. It looks like the Star Trek Mirror Universe logo in there. It's not a good belt. When Cody won it way back and he reintroduced the classic belt, I really love that.
Yeah, people rejoiced when that came back. I'll tell you, that's one. Oh yeah, I remember it. It's so nondescript as well. Anyway. We could
do a whole. Oh. Why don't we do a whole segment on a future episode? Take a drink on the best and the worst wrestling belts in history. I think that would be an excellent. Because, dude, they have WWE has an identity crisis with their championships. People still identified the Winged Eagle belt, the IC belt, especially with different straps and stuff and all that stuff that Ultimate Warrior, I believe, brought to the IC and the World belt. The tag belts that Demolition had, that the Hart Foundation had, I don't know why no belt, even with the big WWE logo on it, it doesn't represent the brand in my mind and my heart and my soul as much as those belts.
It's corporate. It's because they think, oh, well, when Super Bowl champion, whoever it is, we can send them a belt and we'll get some photo opportunities. And that's the only reason why they have those butt ugly WWE logo belts, and I hate them. Hate them. I mean, it's bad enough when the Undisputed title came out in 2002, and I thought that was a step down. It turns out it was great compared to what we've got now.
But do you notice, like, when they did, what was the last one? They revealed a brand new belt, and it looked like, and they booed it. Remember, it was not too long ago.
No, which one was this?
They unveiled a new championship belt. I forget what it was after.
So all the women's ones.
It was something to where it was the exact one with a different color. The people booed it, or they didn't do anything. They just like, oh, okay.
They've got so much history, WWE, and for the life of me, I do not understand why they don't just revel in it, especially the designs of the belts, like the WBC boxing belt. I think that's the one. The green strap, the circle with all the flags around it, looks amazing. They haven't changed that in decades. And do you know why? Because it doesn't need changing. It's iconic on its own. You don't... I don't like this whole like toy.
Why do you throw away 50, 60, 70 years of legacy that are attached to that championship? And at a minimum, the Winged Eagle is 32 years old or more.
No. The Winged Eagle, I'm going to blow your mind here. Only 10 or 11 years. The Winged Eagle.
No. I'm going to disagree. Hogan Hogan on a Saturday Night's Main Event, way, way back. It might have been the 90s, not the 80s.
88.
80, it might have been 88. I think it was 88 when he came out to wrestle Andre on that February. Sorry, he had the old one with the flags and everything, the big gold belt, and he came out with the Winged Eagle belt.
Yeah.
So that's when it debuted. So we're talking about almost 40 years ago in 2028.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. When you're saying history, I thought you meant the entire span of it. No, because...
No. I'm saying
I got you.
That legacy of that belt alone and that generation of belts, you were in the belt discussion already, that, the Intercontinental and the tag belts, just those three right there from the 80s are awesome.
I misunderstood you. I thought you meant the Winged Eagle had been there 20, 30 years. No, it had a 10-year run and then it was replaced with the Big Eagle in 98.
Yeah, just a bigger version that had the eagle on it.
Yeah, that still looked pretty darn great. I like the round one.
That was the Stevie Knight Heat belt. The bigger version was the Stevie Knight Heat Championship.
Was it really?
That never got created. It got started. Yeah.
Have you got any prototype photos of that?
No, I need to. Dude, we're talking about 2002, 2003. I'm going to, if anybody out there, I would love to make a Stevie Knight Heat Championship belt based on the large winged eagle design, and I will put it up there on the other side of the smart board.
Where we can't see it.
No, we're adding the smart board. Trust me, the company keeps reminding me we need to. So, but I want it. For me, I don't get very sentimental about a lot of stuff, but that period and what we were able to get away with, and more importantly, in a way, you always look at it a little more critically, the things I had planned. Even, dude, I started to print out employee manuals for Stevie Knight Heat, and I was going to try to sell them as merch eventually. Like, I was going to have a talent relations meeting and say, this is the way it's going to go. Somebody speaks up, and I'm like, insubordinate. You and me tonight, I'm going to teach you a lesson. And
you know what would have been great is if, like, eventually you started calling people pal at the end of it, just as a subtle, never explain why. But and then you start wearing the pinstripe suits, you know, the big shoulders, and basically you just morph into Vince over the months.
We are at a point now in 37 episodes where you are completing my sentences for me. Because trust me.
Yes. Oh, that already went that way, did it?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So
1000%.
basically you were doing the Brody Lee thing in AEW.
Yeah, but I was also trying to master the Vince walk down to the ring.
Conor McGregor got it eventually, but I mean that's years of dedication. Right, we've got to move on to the next question.
You need a lot of help chemically to get to that.